Big night for everybody involved in the cryptocurrency markets, as well as everyone in the US as the elections come to a close. A new president will be announced in the coming few hours. But what does this mean for Bitcoin? What does it mean for cryptocurrency? And what's everyone doing? I've had many people tell me they're selling, they're holding, they're going to buy. It's all a bit wild. We'll break down exactly some of the things you need to be aware of right now in the cryptocurrency market, and ultimately what is coming over the hill. If that's something you like the sound of, make sure you hit the like and subscribe button, and you want to stay up to date with everything in this cryptocurrency market, this bull run, you found the right channel for you, the 2Bit Crypto channel. Turn the notification bell on. That being said, let's get into this one. So it feels like we've been discussing this for the longest time, but it is finally here. The US elections 2024, Donald Trump versus Kamala Harris. Now, lots of poll data that's come in today has seen a Trump edging ahead. Now, more recently, we actually saw Kamala Harris come back, and that pushed the price of Bitcoin down. Trump officially announcing a Bitcoin reserve will be created if he is elected president, and ultimately even discussions of a potential new SEC chair. Hester Pierce being the biggest potential, certainly, that Donald Trump has talked about. So what could happen? Well, the reality here is we don't really know about a Harris administration because she's not really given us anything to work on. The reality is, though, a Trump administration would significantly increase the price of Bitcoin. Many people even calling for six figures by the end of the year. Obviously, the next few hours are going to determine what that looks like. But when you take a look at the price just in today alone, you can actually see that Bitcoin rallied about 2.8%. More importantly, look at all the green here in the market, and particularly around some of those ETF products, which we know have been a big catalyst at over 3%. So what's happening on the masses? What are people doing? Well, this is a very interesting chart. This is the Bitcoin holders balance. And ultimately, you can see there on the left-hand side, the value of which is on the wallet, and more importantly, therefore, the price on the other side versus the actual overall price of Bitcoin. And we can see fundamentally not a lot is happening. People are holding their nerve. They believe there is more upside to come, and many still believe that even if it was a Harris administration, Bitcoin is on a path to significantly higher prices in this bull market. If you've got ETF products and you've got BlackRock and such others in the market, it's not going to dump overnight. But what this does show us is a level of maturity and expectation of significantly higher prices. And we've been discussing this for quite some time. Short-term investors were ultimately quite frivolous with their holdings and were absolutely dumping the markets on the pushes up and down. But right now, it feels like the market's matured. Holders are looking for a longer-term play. When you've got people like MicroStrategy looking to raise another $14 billion to buy more Bitcoin, Microsoft currently voting on it, as well as many other big institutions. Michigan, for example, putting it in their pension funds. And we know equally just here in the UK, the first ever pension fund is going to be having 3% Bitcoin holdings on that. Tells you why people are holding. And this, in my opinion, is a sensible thing. Now, whenever there is volatility in the market, though, it is always worthwhile to understand that stuff kind of happens. And the reality is Mt. Gox is on the move again. 32,371 Bitcoin, about 2.19 billion has now been moved to 3 new wallets in the last couple of hours. That doesn't mean they are selling. Let's just be clear about it. But they have moved it to B2C2 and OKX, which would determine that this could be a moment. Now, is this the US government in some respects front-running what could be a market push, and they've just delete or sell all the Bitcoin and get rid of it? We know that that's been a thing. We know the US government dumped a significant amount, and ultimately this could be another move in that sentiment. If we see a Trump victory, the price is going to go up. I think it's fair to say, and this ultimately could be a narrative that just cools the market, just makes people think a little bit twice about what's going on. And equally, if we do get this big send, then it's a way of just suppressing the market. So it's a kind of double-edged sword right now. We expect a price move, but we could absolutely see something like Mt. Gox dumped on the back of it. And I think this all ties in very interestingly into the Silk Road case. Don't forget, something a lot of people aren't talking about is this could be the night in which Ross Ulbricht could be released from prison. Not specifically tonight. It would have to wait until Donald Trump is sworn in as president. But if he was a Trump victory, the rumor is, and ultimately he said this, would be freed from prison. Now, if you haven't heard the story of Silk Road, highly going to recommend listening to it and understanding the roots of it. And I guess why this is probably quite a political thing, but could Ross Ulbricht be freed from prison? It's quite a significant possibility. So we wait with anticipated breath. We expect some of the votes starting to come in. It's going to be pretty wild for me here in the UK as we run through the night, but it's going to be very much interesting indeed. And then what do we have in the price? Well, Bitcoin on the move. And I think what's really good about this is a couple of key things. I can probably get rid of the election line. We don't need that. Is that we did print this higher high and we are now starting to move back to the upside. My view is if we can come and retest a further high, which is around 73,760, this could be good news and continuing to be bullish to the upside. Equally, don't forget though, we do and have got a trend-based Fibonacci, which could give us a significant push above the 236 at 70,000, then retesting the 382 and maybe even seeing that 618 at 75,900 relatively soon on the short-term 12-hour price targets. This could be very bullish, as well as the rest of the market. You've got things like Fetch AI over at 10% is good news. So, a big night for cryptocurrency and everyone in the US. What's your hope? Who do you think is going to be the next president of the United States? Let me know in the comments down below. Where do you think Bitcoin's going to be tomorrow morning? It's going to be pretty interesting indeed. And I'd love to say that if you react with this YouTube video, you can get $10,000, but I'll save that for Roaring Kitty over on X. So there's lots of people with a lot of interest in this upcoming election, and certainly one that we're all keeping close eyes on if you are into the cryptocurrency markets as we are. Let me know, as always, in the comments down below. And don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button, turn your notification bell on. You're not going to miss a beat in what's happening over the next 24 hours and equally this bull market. So thank you so much for watching, everybody. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.